back. It's the InfoWarrior with Jason Bermas. We're slamming through your calls. We kept Kyle over. Kyle, second point.
Yes, I sent you a message on MySpace. I'm your friend on MySpace. I sent you a message a couple days ago, and it's this for the site Angels for Truth.
Okay.
And it pointed to the possibility that the planes on 9/11 could have been holograms.
Absolutely false. All right, let's just go over it, because I went over to the site, and I've seen all those arguments before. Look, man, for them to be holograms, there wouldn't be wing holes. Okay, let me say it again. Wing holes exactly where the plane hit. It's exact, all right? I mean, look, these people who want to talk about holograms and TV fakery never have an answer for that. I'm not saying that it was a United and American flight. In fact, I think the evidence points away from that, okay?
Right.
I'm not saying it wasn't attached with some other type of explosive device. There's a possibility of that too. But when people talk about these, I mean, people saw the planes. People recorded the planes. There's a ton of amateur video. I think right now, after the Pent Bomb just released another 7 videos of the second plane. Let me say it again, 7 videos of the second plane. There's something like 42 different videos, including ones from across the harbor, where you can literally only see the gray plane, and then as it goes into the World Trade Center, it's almost not able to see because they have similar textures from that far back, but you still see the little flash on the right-hand side. It's an amateur video. Listen, they didn't get to everybody. They wouldn't have had the time. I mean, if anybody had a real video, okay, and then, believe me, with the 8 million people that live in Manhattan, there would be a real video of an explosion of the World Trade Center without the planes hitting. Maybe I would take a look at that evidence.
I tell people about Alex Jones' 9/11 films and yours, too, man. I love them. I just saw this, and, you guys tell us to look at everything out there.
Sure.
But I was just thinking that, this could be disinfo, and I don't want to get into it if that's the case, but...
No, it's absolutely disinfo, man. There's so much disinfo out there. I mean, there are people that want to talk about scalar weapons being used on 9/11 with zero evidence, just hearsay and conjecture. Listen, I stick to what I can prove. Especially with the video evidence. And, I made an entire film that has nothing to do with the physical anomalies, which is enough to indict the administration, foreign governments, and corporations. I just feel like at this point, 9/11 is an issue that we have really taken apart one by one, and there are so many legitimate anomalies. I don't need to get into, mini nukes in the basement. I really believe the holograms and the TV fakery stuff is straight out of COINTELPRO. And you know what? I thank you for the call, Kyle, but I want to go back to the first time that I heard that. I hope you stay on and listen to the conversation. But the first time I heard that was from a verifiably insane man on the 4th anniversary of 9/11. The first time that I went down to Ground Zero. And I had wanted to go for a couple years, folks. I'm not going to lie. Again, I got into this in 2002. I couldn't really find anybody to go with me. I went down there with Dylan and Corey while we were working on the second edition of Loose Change, and we handed about 50 copies of Loose Change out on that 4th anniversary. It's an extra in Loose Change second edition recut. You can go check that out. Or it's all over the web. And I sat there with this verifiably insane man. I won't even say his name. He is a blight on the 9/11 truth movement. He is what looks like a meth addict, let's be honest. I mean, the guy looks straight out of like a meth lab or a speed factory. Definitely some kind of drug addict. And he's telling me how he thinks that the whole thing are holograms or TV fakery, and that the flash, the so-called flash, was a glitch in the video equipment. And then I challenged him on it, and I said, well, what about the amateur video? Oh, all those were doctored and faked, and everybody's in on it. It's Westcam, Bermas. None of it pans out. Let me say again, none of it pans out. 0.0. Let me say it again, 0.0 chance that holograms were used on 9/11. 0.0 chance that TV fakery was used on 9/11. I've dedicated my life to this. I've looked at all angles, I promise you, and I am giving it the thumbs down big time. All right, let's jump to our next caller. Let's go to Ed in Pennsylvania. Ed, you're on the line.
Hey, Ed. Hey, Barmy. I've been to like a dozen air shows, and when that jet just did that flyby in New York City, that was doing maximum like G's just to make that jet scream like crazy, which they didn't show on regular TV. You had to like watch that on YouTube and kick up the speakers and hear that thing go, just screaming and stuff. Just
total psyop.
People.
Total psyop. Listen, I had somebody call me who has just recently been awakened, and really what set him into gear was this Air Force One thing. He lives in a Manhattan apartment in one of the upper floors, and he was awakened looking out his window, seeing the plane come towards his building, and he thought he was going to die. I mean, he really felt some of that panic. And it is just incredible to me that they're saying this is a photo op. Again, they don't say what it's for. They don't tell anybody except for they tell the police, hey, shut up. They tell the Secret Service, hey, shut up. They tell the mayor's office, hey, shut up. They don't want to tell the people in the buildings surrounding it so that all the workers can go home and they can evacuate all these buildings in Jersey and New York City. It makes no sense unless it's a psychological operation. These people are sick.
They about ripped the wings off that thing, the way how hard they're pulling back on the joysticks. But, hey, let me tell you about Jay Leno's. He only has like a week or two left on NBC.
Yeah, well, he's going to have a 10 o'clock show every night during the week. I think it's also going to be on NBC, but he will no longer be the Tonight Show host.
Well, Monday night, he said, on his opening monologue, he said, did Cheney release this swine flu to take the pressure off the torture stuff? And like every night he's...
Go ahead, man. But that's the problem with that is it keeps it in that left-right paradigm. You know what I mean? Like Cheney's pulling all the strings behind the scenes. Yeah, but he does pull a lot of them. He does. Listen, he's a COG guy way back in the 80s. For people that don't know what COG is, that's continuity of government. Is he a black ops guy? You bet he is. He's a heartless black ops guy. But he's not the only one pulling the strings, okay? And he's not the one releasing the swine flu so that people don't look at the CIA torture memos. I got a news flash for most people. We know you tortured those people. We know you killed those people. Most of the Americans are dumbed down and they just accept it. But most people are consciously aware that things are screwed up in Gitmo and other places, you know, because of this Iraq war and Afghanistan war. So I don't buy into that. I don't know how much Cheney's running right now. He could be running more than he was running in the Bush administration. Who knows? You know, again, he's a black ops guy. Go ahead.
Yeah, but just that's our comedy now. At night is they're talking about stuff like that. Come on. I mean, I grew up with Johnny Carson. You know, life was fun. Now it's like, you know, I've been with Alex for 8 years. I was at the Chantilly, the Bilderberg thing, and I mean, we used to be the crazy people, me and Alex, but now it's like happening. It's you know. There's
nothing crazy about saying, hey, by the way, Catherine Sebelius went to the Bilderberg meeting 2 years in a row, and now she's the head of Health and Human Services without really being confirmed. It's no big deal. She's just going to order you to be vaccinated and quarantined. Love it, live it. It's the new America, sir. Just get behind it. I thank you for the call, Ed. We're going to jump to Bill in Minnesota. Bill, you're on the line. Yes, sir. We got Bill dropped, or? Okay, let's go to Jamie in Ohio. Jamie, you're on the line. Jamie, there?
Yeah.
All right.
Dude. I was just, I'm a big fan, but I thumbs down, dude, to Naomi Wolf chick. Come on, dude.
Well, did you watch?
I wanted
hold
to
on,
punch this woman.
Hold on. You know what? I know she's a bit of an Obama supporter, but did you watch The End of America?
Totally.
But did you watch The End of America?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Okay, all right.
Listen, The End of America, she is a gatekeeper, basically. That's what I think. And you know,
all right, so tell me what you didn't like.
You didn't ask her any hard questions. She led a lot of people down the wrong road.
You don't think I asked her? Hold on. You don't think I asked her hard questions? I asked her, and if you got the radio on, man, please turn it down so I can talk to you. Anyway, I asked her about the redistribution of forces and Obama not getting us out of the war. I asked her about that. I asked her about the renditions and the other secret camps outside of Gitmo. She mentioned 9/11 Truth when she said that she saw Loose Change 2nd Edition. I didn't think that I really needed to get into 9/11 Truth with Naomi Wolf. She gives the same canned answer every time. I really wanted to focus on current events and really this administration being extremely hypocritical. I talked to her about the hardcore things that were in the GIVE Act. You know, did she weasel out of a couple questions? Maybe. But at the same time, I really enjoyed her movie. And I really think it's a good opener for someone who maybe can't watch Loose Change Final Cut or Fabled Enemies or maybe the Obama Deception first.
Know what's impossible, Jason, what's impossible to believe about this is that you can make a movie like that and not know that there's a paradigm. It's impossible.
Well, I disagree because, listen, man, she's a Rhodes Scholar. She's in those inner circles. She worked for the Clinton campaign. People have their blind spots. Man, Tarpley has his blind spots as good as he is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, me, I might have my blind spots. I'm not perfect.
At least Tarpley will, come out and tell you he's a communist. Listen, she worked you, dude. And
all right.
I got nothing but love for you, Jason. But if you're gonna have somebody like that on there,
I got to be a little more hardcore on her.
You got to grill her, man.
Well, what would you ask her? All right, I'm asking. What would have been? You got one question for Naomi Wells.
Precisely that. I would have said, how can you still believe in a Democrat and a Republican, nonsense?
All right, I'll tell you what. The next time that I have her on, I'm going to ask her that question just for you. All right, we're going to talk about the right-left paragraph. All right,
well, get my name right. It's Jimmy.
All right, well, they type Jamie, brother. I can't help it. I only read a screen. All right, thanks, I thank you for the call.
You're listening to GCN, the world leader in independent talk radio.